Hello and welcome to this SouthLAnder quarter final. Uh, I'm Brandon, and joining with me today is Tim. Tim, how are you? You doing okay?
I'm good. Thank you. Excited for the quarterfinals. How are you?
Brilliant. Yeah, we've got a good game actually today. We've got Swansea taking on Southampton. Swansea, the holders of the current SouthLAnder, having won it last year, and they're taking on Southampton, who are actually undefeated in NSE right now. Putting up some good postings. Also on Newell, whilst they are in Open compared to Swansea's Varsity, they're not doing too bad. They suffered a couple of L's last week, but on the whole, have been pretty consistent throughout. It looks to be a very good game. I'm excited to see what Swansea can bring to the table.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close one. It's definitely kind of favored towards Swansea at the moment. They seem to be the stronger side, but never underestimate the underdog, especially in the big tournaments right now. I think it's ESL Katowice. There's definitely some interesting underdog stories, and maybe there'll be some today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Swansea, yeah, as you mentioned, definitely are the favourites heading into this best of three. Some players notable to watch out for on that Swansea team are definitely Vornes and also Aerostratus as well. I know both of those players quite highly rated. I know they play a lot of pugs together. Obviously, been in the core roster for quite a while now. Know what they're doing. In terms of the team force side, obviously you have key players to look out for, such as Skep and Ting. We know what potential they can bring to the side. And over, it's going to be a lot of contention over the map. Going to be a lot of gunfights and a lot of aim duels, and it's going to be very interesting to see what can happen. I think we're heading straight to the veto shortly. Now, I think all players are ready in the server. I think we're just kind of waiting on the veto now. I know that Swansea play a lot of nuke, so it'd be interesting to see whether that kind of plays a factor into the veto. I know Team 4 are quite interested in playing Mirage and probably Inferno as well.
There's the nuke ban from Southampton. Swansea got rid of train. Okay.
And yeah, actually, the veto just appeared on our screens there. It looks like we're heading to the first map, which looks to be Overpass. We're not really too sure whose pick that was, but compared to last week, it looks like we're kind of getting straight into the action for this best of three, which is really exciting. Obviously, with a best of three veto, one team will just choose the side, and then a third map, should we need it, would go straight to a knife round. So judging on who's CT and who's T will give a really good indication to us before it being confirmed, whose pick it was. Tim, Overpass, good map for both teams, really. What do you expect to see?
I think Overpass is a very good sort of just map to establish sort of which team is more confident, which team's playing better as a team. It's a map with a lot of options, and important to kind of just take control together and play together as a unit. So it's going to very much depend on the early few rounds, who gets the momentum and then carries that on. So I think it's an interesting one to start with, definitely.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we're going to see that big fight for B short water control. That will probably be a contention point. Obviously, connector as well. It'd be interesting to see whether any of the CT sides kind of get a bit more aggressive, kind of be a bit more proactive on the CT side. As we do go into the map and load it up, well, from what I can see, it looks like Swansea will be starting on that CT side, which indicates that this was Southampton's map pick. In terms of Southampton's ability on Overpass, I know they've been playing it a lot more recently. I know that their T sides have often been quite slow paced. As mentioned, that fight for water will be quite prevalent. In terms of Swansea, haven't got really too much data on them playing Overpass when looking back kind of at their map history. I don't think they've actually played it in the spring split so far. I'll just get confirmation on that.
I feel like all players will be quite familiar though with the map, just in terms of the fluidity of their strats and how much they mix things up. In terms of you say that Team 4 plays quite slowly generally, and I think that it's going to be important that they have some fast tempo rounds and slower ones just to mix it up and throw the other team off.
For sure. And apologies to everyone. My information is actually completely wrong. Swansea have actually played Overpass twice. They won 16-11, and then they were brought, to a close overtime loss by Bath A. But the fact they made it to get to overtime means they are quite strong, quite, confident on the map. And I'm looking forward to seeing what both teams bring to the table.
Yeah, if they've played it, they're familiar with it, then yeah, this is going to be a close one, I think, from the get-go. I don't really remember recent Team 4 results on this map, but yeah, I don't know. I think the last time we casted this together, we casted a friendly game between some Southampton universities, and the B bomb site was quite a popular one to attack, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a completely different ball game. Swansea are one of the strongest teams in the competition. I'm actually really excited for this best of three, just on a personal level. We're going to be. I think this is one of the quarterfinals that is probably one of the most anticipated, one of the ones to watch out for. I'm really interested to see if Swansea. I'm expecting they're going to put up a very good show in here. A very, very good team with lots of strong individual players. I'm really excited to watch the current holders of SouthLAnder kind of try and retain their place in the competition. I think the players just are readying up now. So just a few just kind of non-CS related topics. As kind of as mentioned kind of in the previous stream, we were just saying about how important it is to kind of stay safe during the coronavirus pandemic, and we have actually finally got some news that things are going back to normal. I think I for one am so totally excited to go back to that. Hopefully we can have some lands in the future. Hopefully SouthLAnder next year can actually be SouthLAnder rather than SouthWAnder. So I guess, Tim, have you got any summer plans coming up?
Going outside would be nice. Being trapped indoors due to COVID is, I don't know. I'm kind of going to see what happens. Take things slow. Obviously, safety first, and then we'll see.
Yeah,
Nothing
for
set in
sure.
stone just yet. But what about yourself?
Well, I don't know. I think it'll be. It's probably a bit too early to tell whether you can kind of go abroad and stuff. I think I'll probably kind of be hedging my bets on that front. Kind of wait until next year. Kind of wait until things are in the clear. I'm just kind of excited to see friends and more extended family as well. I think that's been difficult for all of us.
Definitely, yeah. Be a good time to meet up and then catch up, see everyone again. Be good times.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're just waiting on one or two players now to ready up in the server. As you mentioned, Katowice got the semi-finals taking place today. I think the Spirit Gambit game has just kicked off. I'm not actually too sure on the score, and I know later it is it's Liquid VP. Navi getting knocked out.
That was a surprise, yeah.
Yeah, 3 CIS teams kind of making the semis of Katowice. CIS, CS moving in a positive direction, it seems. Have you watched much of Katowice, Tim?
I watched a few games here and there. I mean, I was kind of favoring Navi, to be honest, and a bit disappointed that they lost. But hey ho, it is what it is. Now I'm not really too sure who to watch. Maybe Team Spirit or Gambit would be nice if they could win.
Yeah, Spirit are definitely up and coming. Incredible they've even reached the top 4. To be honest with you, I think the introduction of Dexter on that team has really given them kind of a new lease of life. They were improving quite a lot in 2020, but I think with the new addition of that man, they've really kind of improved a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
But it looks like the match is going to go live in 10 seconds or so. So not too much waiting around now as we kind of head towards the pistol. I think that transition will move over any second now, and we can get into the game.
We have Team 4 starting on T side, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Brilliant. So as we move over into the game now, it looks like Team 4 have purchased Kevlar's, apart from Andy, who has a smoke double flash. Looks like they're going to be using that late to get fountain control. Early boost from Swansea side.
Team 4 just going to walk around towards A side now, get some map control. They've spotted one player, that's Merlin. He's going to go back towards A, doesn't want to lose his life there. Give no early advantages. Still quite a bit of time. Oh, Merlin does find Andy though in middle. Not too sure what was happening there. I think he was setting up a smoke.
Yeah, that's the bomb as well. As he doubles up and finds Skep as well. That's all the utility lost for Team 4 and the bomb. So they're now in a much difficult position than they would like to be. grouping up towards toilets, trying to take on Merlin. That's a really nice trade from Aerostratus, though, onto Hanno, and it's now left into this 2v4. Team 4 kind of got it all to do here into the pistol, kind of grouping up towards toilets, taking fights. As we see, the boost is still ongoing onto short. And yeah, a bit of a chaotic start for Team 4.
Yeah, I don't think they fully established control of the toilets area there. They were just a bit too confident in thinking that Merlin rotated all the way back when he didn't. And yeah, that cost them 2 players there. Oh, Arrow finding Ting. It's now on to Jason. Some nice shots being hit by the people from Swansea. Scripps finishing it off with 4 people left alive. And 1-0 to Swansea.
Yeah, that was a really nice pistol round from Swansea. Some really nice shots, as you mentioned, being hit by both Merlin and Arrow. Kind of coming off the back of this. They're now buying up to play this anti-eco. It looks like Team 4 not investing too much, because obviously they're going to need to pull out hopefully a bomb plant into this round so they can buy next, or it might be, you know, a patchy buy going into round 3 with not too much utility. Swansea is setting themselves well on the map early, kind of taking instant control as we see this engagement towards toilets.
Some good damage being traded here, but so far nothing has been found for Southampton. 2 players go down and Andy's left on 1 HP. Hanno being taken care of by Vornes at long. It's all left down onto Skep, really. Can't really say Andy's going to do much with 1 point of health.
No, you definitely can't. And it's been a completely clean and really, really good anti-eco round from Swansea. Kind of asserting their dominance early towards the map. Trying to just, you know, say to Team 4, look, we won this last year. This is ours. If you want it, come and get it. And really early, you know, momentum swings coming in the favour of Swansea early on. It's really important that their players survive as well, because the CT money, not always the best, especially in this latest iteration and update of CS. You find that if the Ts kind of get a few bomb plants down, get a few kills, they can keep buying kind of throughout the half. Maybe there'll be 1 eco here or there. But Swansea there just doing a really nice job at cleaning up, and all players surviving, which is so important for that bank.
Solid round for Swansea. However, this is going to be the interesting one, as Southampton is able to buy up. They're going to buy a full set of AKs and some utility. Not a huge amount, as their economy wasn't really, you know, able to establish itself, as there were no bomb plants. So all players on $50, or on average about $50. Let's put it that way. And now it looks like they're going to go towards that B short. They want the control. Going to have a quick fight. Ting finds Scripps. Merlin trades. Skep finds 2 through smoke. I think he found the boosted players. Or not too sure.
Yeah, and it's, as we said pre-game, Tim, it's this early fight into the B short that's yielding trade after trade after trade. And typically trades favour the T side, but Swansea doing a good job at re-aggressing that short control. Arrow's now moved position out of short, kind of tucked up in monster, has spotted Hanno, and will take him down. So nice early engagements there for Team 4 taking the trades, but Swansea with really nice adjustments, kind of moving a position early, kind of coming out of that short control, going straight back into a monster angle, kind of unexpected, and picking up the round. Yeah, really good start for Swansea overall, and that's going to force Team 4 onto this kind of weird, you know, economic situation where they've had no bomb plants in 3 rounds. They don't really know what to do, so they're going to have to just buy deagles and just kind of almost concede another round, just go for this bomb plant here. Yeah, Swansea doing really well early on.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how things are playing out. I mean, last round was very close, brought it down to a 1-1. There was good trades from either side. Just kept finding 2 through the smoke. Oh, Ting finding the head of Arrow there with a Desert Eagle. Cheeky 1 deag. That's a good entry frag. Oh, still in the hands of Merlin. Vornes peeking toilets, finding Skep, bringing it down to a 4-on-4 now. More damage being exchanged. Southampton doing really well, considering they're only playing with a few pistols. Hanno's finding Vornes there. Merlin refragging. 3-on-3. There is 1 player still lurking towards Monster, and I believe that is J-Shav. AK has been picked up. Will they be able to find anything here? Gonna slow it down. Merlin jump spotting from the A-bomb site. He's by himself on the A site of the AWP, so if he does get rushed by Southampton, it will be definitely tricky for him.
Yeah, the challenge for Swansea right now is to kind of mitigate these losses. Some good early exchanges, some good trades coming out of both teams again. But the most important thing for Swansea now is to kind of finish the rest of the round clean without losing too many guns. As you see, Team 4 have grouped up towards this A bomb site. It looks like the avenue of attack. And Merlin goes straight down there. Yeah, straight down without any trades at all. And it's now onto this 3v2 after plant for Swansea. Team 4 salvaged some guns here. Not armored players, though. So retake does look possible for Swansea. And it looks like they might be going for this. They're thinking about it, definitely. And as I say that, they turn away and run and save. So typical caster's curse coming into full effect here. This is definitely the right call for Swansea, though. As we mentioned kind of the round before, like the CT economy is really, really fragile, and it's in this state of kind of very, you know, almost disarray here. It's the fact that they've won 3 in a row, and now it's an eco round coming out of Team 4. They kill 3 players, and suddenly they're forced onto the save.
Yeah, the only person with money on the team of Swansea, that's Aero. He's got 7k. He can drop someone, but I don't think there'll be an AWP. Oh, as I say that, they buy an AWP. Of course, of course. That's maybe in the hands of Merlin again. But it looks things, Aero's going to keep it for himself. AWP in the hands of Hanno now as well. Let's see if there will be an early sniper battle. Aero is peeking top mid, and he does find Hanno. Huge entry frag for Swansea there. Going to slow down Southampton. You have gained B shot control. I suppose that is a positive outlook.
Yeah, it's just Swansea again, just changing up this kind of different, their pressure in different areas of the map on different rounds, and it's working out very well for them. We see the AWP pick coming out of Arrow, coming off of the force by kind of around the saved rifles, which is again the correct call. And rather than pressuring short this round, it goes for the AWP pick to good effect. And now they're in a much, you know, they're looking in a much favorable position in the round. Still some, you know, we've got Deagle on long, got a FAMAS on Vornes, which is kind of towards B site. It looks to be a straight up B execute for Team 4, kind of coming into 3-man stack of Swansea.
Wakizip finds 1, but Gap and Ting find 2. Grips brings it down onto a 3-on-2 though. Favoring Swansea. Skep gets a little bit too aggressive jumping on top of the box, and he gets punished for it. And J-Shaft needed down to 4 HP. Good utility damage coming in. He's got no armor as well. 1-on-2, very awkward position. There's a player flanking him, slowly creeping up towards that B short. Don't know if J-Shaft will expect him. It's a lot to do and not a lot of time. I don't think the save option is available either. So it's going to be very awkward for J-Shaft here.
Yeah, it's just so important for J-Chef. He doesn't die after time, which he looks like he does. It's just like he does, which is very unfortunate for his money. A bit unsure also why he didn't have armor. I think that might have been a bit of a mistake coming out of him. But it now, again, I mean, Team 4 can buy rifles. They can kind of force up what they can, scrape together some money. But 1 bomb plant in 5 rounds is not looking healthy to the T's economy. And off the back of that win, Swansea do pick up a double AWP setup and looking to insert their dominance, Tim.
Yeah, Arrow again went for the peak middle, and he gets naded down to 69. That's good utility damage from Southampton. They are aware of the peak swing in. That's not a good nade by Merlin. that's an NA nade in chat. I think Southampton need to, make sure they establish map control a bit more all over, because last round Swansea were able to push up A long, and they already knew that the B hit was coming. So they're becoming a little bit predictable. And Southampton need to keep Swansea on their toes. Make sure that they're making noise everywhere, distracting them, forcing any rotations and any mistakes from them. As Swansea are feeling confident, taking these early positions to try and find any damage. And with the nades hitting them, you can see that Southampton are thinking about it for sure.
Yeah, I like this approach from Swansea right now. It's just kind of letting Team 4 have the map control, but having decent crossfires towards the bomb sites, and it kind of puts this I don't know, feeling the doubt into the mind of the T side, because when you've got all this space and you're kind of clearing all these angles, you don't really know where to go. It's such a difficult thing to think about. Really nice one-way smoke there from Scribs. Is traded out by Andy onto the site. It looks like we might be getting a bomb plant for the second time in this half. But look at that nade damage coming straight out of Swansea. All Team 4 players are low apart from Ting into this 4v4 retake. Looks like it's definitely favouring Swansea right now. Double up on the retake. Not, not ideal, but it's not bad as the trades go their way.
Quickly, Andy finds one. It's all left down onto Ting. It's a lot to do. 1v3. Finds one. Unfortunately, isn't able to kill the bomb diffuser there. Will he survive? I think he does. That's important, as the money isn't too hot, but they will be able to buy into this round.
Yeah, really nice retake there from Swansea, doing all the right things. Ting, unfortunate there with the spray, but I'm liking everything I'm seeing from Swansea so far. Kind of pressuring different areas of the map at different times, keeping Team 4 on their toes, and then also know when to give the space and just re-execute with full nades. Yeah, just really solid retake coming out of there. Team 4 looking a bit shaky. I think nerves might be getting to them into this quarterfinal, playing against the previous winners. But
yeah,
they can buy up again.
Them, right? It's gotta be kind of scary playing such against the team, but you gotta focus on your own game. You've got to be confident in your teammates, know what's going on, and just play together. I think right now, though, their default is pretty good. They've got players all around the map. This is exactly what I wanted them to do, to punish any players who are lurking anywhere. And currently, Swansea are playing very passively, so they're not really able to find anyone, which is unfortunate for them. However, putting players across the map and using utility may force Swansea to stack onto a bomb site. Right now, they have 3 players towards the B bomb site. So A is more favorable. And there is a player slowly creeping up towards A long. I wonder if Ting will challenge him. Doesn't look like he'll go that direction. And he's just going to be sitting in toilets with Hanno. And it looks like they want to go towards B.
Yeah, it looks like Merlin heard those steps there coming out of the toilet. Would have told that to his team. It's forcing an interesting rotation out of Swansea on the map. Really nice flashbang there.
4 on 5 early advantage. Wacky and bonus though. Good utility damage again. Burning J-Shaft alive. Brought down to a 2 on 2 as Ting finds Scribs. AWP still in play. 4 seconds remaining. Gets the bomb. That's good. Merlin peeking short. Finds the head of both players. And that's 6-1.
Yeah, that's another good example of kind of Swansea's, they kind of holding all their utility back, and it's because they're not contesting these areas all the time, so it means that they have more the utilities kind of wait late round for these late executes coming in out of Team 4 Southampton. I think the terrorist side needs to kind of engage more into taking areas of the map a bit faster and forcing the CTs to react. And then that means that they'll have less utility going into these executes. Because at the moment, it's just drowning them. Like another molly kill coming in there for the CT side.
Skep finding Merlin. This is very, very early aggression being punished by Skep. That's a huge entry frag. Bringing it down onto a 5 on 4, man advantage for Southampton. Now this is important if they're able to capitalize this man advantage, as there's only 1 player towards A now. He's quickly rotating back, and that's Arrow with the AWP. Southampton, though, not over-aggressing after finding that quick entry. Just playing it slow again, slowing things down. Arrow is in quite an aggressive position, and he might be caught out by Hanno. I don't think he expects Team 4 to already be in that toilet's position.
Yeah, it's kind of this B lean towards Swansea after losing the early player in connector. But again, kind of the right call. I mean, you got an AWP on A, you kind of, Arrow can just jump spot all the angles, kind of get information of where they're going to end up. And it looks like Team 4, again, are leaning more towards this B take. And that could favour Swansea's rotations, as Hanno looks to be putting in a fake right now.
It's only 2 players on each bomb site at the moment, so definitely favouring Team 4 if they are to execute together. Maki's finding one, getting traded. That's good. Hanno finding Scribs as well. 4-on-2, and I think it should be the safe call here for Swansea. I doubt they go for this, but Hero is lurking in heaven with a AWP. Throws a nade, misses it though.
Yeah, he would have had
is low.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He would have had the information from the Swansea, his teammates on B, that they are tagged, doing again more damage with these incendiaries, with these HEs. Didn't pay out for Arrow in heaven, but he was smoked off, to be fair to him. But Team 4 putting another round on the board. It looks like that late execute did work out for them. I think it's very dangerous, though. I think Swansea are aware of this, and this is what's happening. And then now we're going to try and save even more util. I think it was a case of maybe confidence coming into that last round with I'm not sure who the player was. Merlin pushing very, very high up in connector, being punished.
Yeah.
The confidence definitely playing in, and it's just an AWP M4 and an upgraded pistols for the CT side. And as we mentioned, this economy on CT is so almost unfair, really, because they've won 6 rounds and they've been forced onto 2 saves.
Arrow peeking middle again and not finding anything for his troubles, except some damage his way. We're down to 25 points of health. He's kind of the main, the main attraction on Swansea of the AWP. There's only one more rifle in the hands of Vornes, who I believe is, I think that's, I don't know what that is actually. I think that's in heaven window kind of area, just under, looking towards any lurks, heading towards B.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to tell with a map, isn't it, sometimes, especially with these kind of vertical maps. If you just look at the top left, it's just kind of a bit of a mess all on the screen. But yeah, Arrow definitely main attraction here. As we mentioned pre-game, as we kind of just see this execute kind of collapsed in, kind of all being cleaned up here. The Arrow is one of the standouts for Swansea. I think if we press tab and look at the scoreboard in just a second, he is performing fairly well. I think a few rounds ago, I think he was like 7-1 or something like that. He's just looking to hold on to the AWP. Yeah, he's 9-1 right now. So really hot start for him. But a 3rd round on the board for Team 4 as they kind of settle into the game, it looks like. However, do saying that though, it was just pistols for Swansea. I'm sure we can see them kind of adjust to this kind of late, almost CS coming out of Team 4.
Yeah, they did really well there to take control of the bomb site, not lose any players to the pistols. Good damage from Swansea, but yeah, weren't able to fully finish off the players of Team 4. So that's a good round for them, surviving, building that economy. Swansea still not doing too hot on the on money side of things. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. They might force a few things here and there, have a dodgy buy, or just upgraded pistols, which looks to be like the option.
Yeah, it should be the upgraded pistols here, right? Because the money's just not too good. They need to have full rifles and full utility on that CT side. But Arrow kind of changing up his angle, and we'll find the pick onto Andy early. He's been so good at that early game, just kind of taking an area of the map, pushing it, getting the early peak. Is often the way of Swansea, kind of very much in most of these early round engagements. However, on the other side of the map, 3 players long for Southampton, and they will take down Merlin. I think it'd be so important for Swansea to keep rotating this AWP up, as it looks to be going more towards A. Kind of, that big rifle will do the most damage. We need to get, Arrow in the best possible positions.
Vornes finding J-Shaft, bringing it back down to a 3-on-3. Southampton, no, he's there. Almost getting caught out though with the nade, Hanno. There's 2 players now towards that B short position. Ting's going to push Monster and probably spot one on site now. He does. He takes him, bringing it down to a 3-on-2, favouring Southampton. I think the AWP is in window. There's only 35 seconds remaining, and it is looking to be a bit awkward for Team 4, since Swansea are fully aware of what's happening. If they go towards the A-bomb site, though, it might be easier. Not necessarily, as Arrow, I think, has rotated towards A now as well. Yep, he's now running back down towards window. Vornes has a lot to do. He finds one, almost finding a second with the CZ. Arrow missing a shot. 1-on-2. Has the retake of the AWP. He finds the head of Skep with the USP. All down onto Ting with 59 points of health. Tries to throw a smoke and lurk in it. I'm not sure if Arrow is going to be aware of this. Might consider it. Doesn't matter. Ting clutches the round, finds the head of Arrow, and Andy calls in a pause, a tactical pause, I believe.
Yeah, and for good reason too, right? That was actually a really scary round for Swansea. Arrow doing most of the heavy lifting. Again, they're making things happen for the CT side. Really nice headshot onto Water there for that 1v2. Nearly was so close with that retake, but that was upgraded pistols just only for Swansea with that one AWP. That should never have been put into contention that badly, and I think that's why the pause has been called. And as we can see, Swansea now buying up fully. Going to have some really good utility now on the back of that kind of double eco. It'd be interesting to see what kind of they fight for this round. Early smoke going down from Vornes. We've been seeing that as a highlight on that CT side, denying the monster aggression early. As it looks like Arrow's heading towards Connector now with his orb. Constantly changing it up. We love to see it.
Definitely. Skep, though, is fully aware and ready for that Connector aggression. Punishes Arrow, and that's the all put down. That's quite big for Southampton. A lot of map control gain for them, technically. As the AWP is a very scary gun.
Yeah, it's just a slow approach coming out of the T side. Again, taking Water early. CT's kind of pushing one avenue of map control and then kind of falling back. Merlin in a really advanced position in the long toilets here. Really nice spot for him. Looks like there's been engagement right now between him and Hanno.
Looks away. Timing. Hanno does find him. Doesn't take too much damage in the process. That'll be good for him.
Yeah, mist smoke coming out of Ting, though. So it looks like they wanted to explode onto the A site, but trades
Unnecessary
are not happening. Yeah, trades are not happening for the Swansea team, are they?
No. Looks like there's some frustration, or players are getting over-eager. But Team 4 being the patient ones, and it's paying off for them. Yep, finding another one. That's 3 for this round. Will he find the 4th? Yes, he does. Popping heads there at the end.
Yeah, very good round for Skep there. Taking out the kind of potent Arrow early into the round as he peeks Connector, and then we'll find the remaining players onto the A bomb site. And we've got a real contest here coming into the 12th round, 6-5. It looked scary early for the T side as Swansea took an early lead, but they've built back into the game, looking now for this short control again. And looks like it's going to be a massive engagement here as
frags left, right, and center, favoring Team 4. The HP on Vaughn is on wacky. I think that's like 32 quick maths in total.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's looking like it should be a Team 4 round here. They have the advantage both in terms of utility, HP, and just a numbers advantage, right? I think Swansea have stacked both players towards A as well, so yeah. Yeah,
for sure. And to be honest with you, this always should be a T-side round, especially on kind of the anti-ecos. But Swansea, they've done a very good job here. They've done what they wanted South to achieve, right? And that's just economic damage. Obviously, T-side bank is, really healthy. 13k on Ting, 7k kind of across the board for everyone else. And a very good call here to swap up to the A site as well, because they would have got the info that both players were towards B. But as I say that, we're just left to one person who's now dead. So
very clean. Good job there.
Yeah, latter stage of the half very clean. Early not so much.
Early not so much.
Yeah, I think for the CT side, I think they need to kind of group up a bit more together, and then just if they want to take areas of the map, they kind of buddy up, and it looks like we are seeing that actually. Arrow and Merlin are pushing long together really early. This is very good for Swansea. They're going to get a lot of information as I see no one here towards T-spawn area. Jim Merlin taking down Hanno.
Man advantage, and Team 4 left in an awkward position. Man down, and they don't really have control of half of the map. They've only got B, and there's 3 players already here. Good flashes, and he finds the head of Scribs. J-Chef finds Wacky Zip. Varnish trades. J-Chef, though, trades back in return. Merlin finding Ting. I think he was holding a grenade there. Or reloading, not too sure. Wasn't really aware of the quick rotation from Swansea. Looks like Team 4 going to go towards A, though.
Yeah, nice call here coming out of the T side, aware that both players would have been quick rotating up towards the B site.
Merlin ready, finds the head of Skep. All left down onto J-Chef, who's on 29 points of health. 1 on 2, a lot to ask for. Doesn't matter though, because Merlin's feeling it today. That's a 4K from Merlin.
Yeah, what a round from Merlin, right? Really good. You know, took the initiative. Literally, as we were saying, oh yeah, let's see the CTs kind of aggressing area of the map together. Him and Aero both pushed long early. A little bit of spam coming out at the end there, a bit of BM. We like to see some competition here at SouthLAnder. But yeah, Merlin, really good, really sharp, looking crisp. Yeah, really well played by Swansea in that round.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing there to gain early map control. They're going to be doing a similar thing right now, going together in pairs towards Connector. Quick aggression towards Monster. Triple spray down, I think. 3 players going down. Yep, Skep only finds 1 in return. And that's a 2 on 4. Things very awkward. Bomb is dropped outside in front of the tunnel, and it's all left down onto Skep as Hanno is shot through smoke.
Oh.
Skep finds 1. 1 on 2, but he does have 7 points of health.
I think that was a team kill coming out from Swansea as well by accident. It looks like T-side wanted to change up the pace there, kind of go for a faster B setup. Didn't work out. Swansea ready and prepared, getting that, I think, 4 kills, all 4 kills through the smoke.
Skep finds 1 for his troubles before he goes down. And that's 8-6 now for Swansea. Half is definitely closer than how he started off. I think it was 5 rounds with 1 bomb plant or something like that. But now it's definitely Team 4, you know, putting the pressure on and making the game closer. Definitely fighting for it. They're you know, putting the pressure on to Swansea.
For sure, and this is a good Swansea CT side as well.
MP5 in hands with Arrow just shows you how much of a problem that CT economy is.
Yeah, MP5, not the best weapon. I think when I've used it, I mean, I'm not the best player, but I feel like I often do like 60 in like 7 or like 80 in 9, like all the time with it. I feel like I can never really get kills with it, as Hanno misses his molly there. But Arrow is playing on the close off angle towards Party, as we do see this boost on the other side of the map coming in for Ting as he takes out Wacky Zip towards Barrel. Arrow going to be hearing these footsteps, but does get punished by Skep, and is 5v3 for the final round of the half. I wonder if we're going to see this B execute again, or whether it will kind of lean more towards A. It's certainly looking that way, with the bomb kind of being picked up and then heading towards that B site once again.
Makes some good awareness from Team 4. They know that Swansea likes to play a bit aggressive. And yeah, they punched Arrow, and then a good boost from Ting there, finding that early entry frag as well. And rightfully so, they go towards B after making, you know, entries on either side of the map, just sticking together and taking control of the bomb site in which they've already got eliminated a target. So 4 on 1, and I think Varnish just wants to save this, to be honest. I don't. Oh wait, never mind.
He can't do that.
Last round of the half. So why would he want to do that? Yeah. And that's 8-7, as close as you can get.
Yeah, that's a very good half at Counter-Strike, right? You've actually got kind of the half split in half, because you had Swansea dominating early on into the half. They took, I think it was a 6-1 lead at one point, where they were just kind of stamping their authority down on the map. And then you kind of had Team 4, the Southampton team, coming back into it in that second half of the first half, kind of realizing and adjusting to the aggression, and then kind of punishing Swansea for that. I think the the aggression coming out of the CT side will be a reflection of their T side, Tim. I can expect kind of a lot more kind of aggro plays coming out of Swansea as well. I think, judging on that CT kind of pushes, it worked out and paid dividends for them when they doubled up with a buddy. I think when they kind of were feeling a bit confident, it might have got the best of them a little bit, kind of taking fights they maybe shouldn't have been taking. But it is the first map here, first half. Both teams are kind of trying to feel each other out, kind of sound each other out, kind of figure out what's going on. And I think we're in for a very good series here.
Yeah, definitely. It's a close one. Both teams are putting up the numbers, playing well. They're mixing things up and making it interesting. I'm curious to see what Team 4 will do on the CT pistol round, if they'll play a default or try and do something cheeky. I assume it will be a default. They don't want to, give away too much just yet. It is the first round, after all, of the second half. It's like Kevlar has been purchased on everyone on Swansea except Merlin, who's gone for the smoke flash.
Yeah, and Hanno kit smoke for the CTs of everyone else just buying armor. It might be on pauses, might be coming out, someone might have some issues, someone might need the toilet or something, or maybe they're discussing a really in-depth pistol strat that we're going to see right now as all the players are back in the server. We are live. And it looks to be a straight kind of B execute, B rush coming out of the Swansea team as they storm through Monster right now.
There are 3 players here. Ting finds the head of Arrow, but Hanno gets found in window by Scribs. Ting trades back. Frags going in favor of Team 4. Only left on Merlin, and he gets taken care of. Only 1 player going down for Team 4, and that's a clean pistol round. Very well held. You were very quick there to rotate and sort of hold B bomb site down together, so good job for Team 4.
Yeah, change up on the Southampton's typical pistol there, which normally sees kind of 3 players heading towards con and toilet area with 2 guys kind of chilling on the boost. They changed it up from that. They had 4 players head down towards B, and it countered the rush perfectly. So nice job for the CT side early as they all buy MP9s, looking to shred through the terrorist players, and Vornes with a really good find onto Hanno early.
Yeah, that's not ideal for Team 4. They weren't really able to trade that either. So Hanno was caught. So is Skep, but Skep manages to run around the corner. Never mind.
What a shot.
That's a huge 1 deep from Arrow through the smoke. 2-man advantage now for Swansea. Things getting very awkward for Team 4.
Yeah, really, really good kind of early stages of this round. And even better as Merlin finds Ting. And it's now going to be this 5v2. I imagine a safe call will be in place for the CTs. And the Ts have done really well here this round. They've kind of established themselves. Ali's looking towards connector, so he can grab anything. And then, as I say that, 2 guys have been found. This makes it a bit more interesting. I thought it was just going to be the safe call, but as smoke misses from Arrow there, it might actually be a retake scenario.
I mean, it's possible as the T-side players do not have armor, so the aim punch will come into effect. Bischoff pulls up the information of 2 players, and he pushes in and isn't able to find anything though. Swansea winning that round with 3 players left alive. 3 MP9s as well. They'll be happy with that round.
Yeah, for sure. Really good round from Swansea there, and just kind of the individual aim coming into play for them. As some really nice headshots coming through. Arrow shot through the smoke on Skep. Like, what was that? Absolutely insane shot from him.
Definitely.
And yeah, it kind of screws the money over a lot. And just on the USP, it's got Deagle and Andy. But that's it for the CT side. It looks like the T side should be having this one quite comfortably with all of their goodies, all of their grenades, all of their MP9s that saved over from that last round.
Yeah, this should be a quick round for Team 4. Swansea, sorry, whenever they plan to commit somewhere. They do have the big advantage here. Team 4 only playing of USPs and 1 Desert Eagle in the hands of Andy, who is their top fragger. He's sat on 15. playing very well so far. Team 4 doing a pretty good buddy system, all things considered. Playing an off angle in toilets. I'm not sure if anyone's going to investigate. It looks like Aero does. He punishes both players, actually. Isn't able to get traded. Players also going down towards B. And that should be the bomb site in their control.
Yeah, it's the perfect round for Swansea, right?
Yeah, definitely. Haven't really lost anything, and it's all done for Andy. Will he find a frag? Nope. All 5 players remaining alive for Swansea. That's 10-8.
Yeah,
Building
absolutely.
that bank.
For sure. Very, very strong rounds coming out of Swansea back-to-back now. And economy for Southampton, not in the best spot. Going to be just buying these upgraded Deagles, kind of similar to what we saw on the CT side for Swansea. Money playing a huge factor early into this half. And some really good individual performances coming out of the Swansea boys, again, very early into this map. Ooh.
Scap finds one before being traded out. That's not too bad. The man advantage always does favour the T side. Wacky Zip is, though, only on 26 points of health. Still a lot of utility left to play with as well. Pop flash there towards B short, but no one's there. Ting playing passive on the B bomb site, looking towards Monster. Andy behind him, looking towards short. Again, got that buddy system. Both players playing to very close proximity of one another.
So important on pistols because you can just kind of tag up a bit, get the trade, take the gun out of the hands. I like Swansea's pace change here. They've slowed it down a lot this round. Obviously, are very aware of the money situation in the CT camp, and it looks like they're grouping towards Monster, where 2 players kind of lie in wait for them.
I think Merlin's going to try fake A here. He's doing a good job.
Yes, worked very well actually. Look at that, 3rd player rotating up.
Ooh.
And they're just 1 player on this B bomb site.
He finds 1, and that's all he finds, unfortunately. 3-on-2 now. Andy gonna try and see if he can find any frags here with this 5-7. He finds the head of Wacky Zip. That's a nice shot. 2-on-2 now. Scribs, though, denies any further damage. And finds a double at the end of the round there. 2 players left alive. 11-8. And we should be seeing a buy now from Southampton. An AWP now in the hands of Hannah. Let's see if he goes for any early aggression, as that may dictate where the round will end up.
Yeah, it's good recovery there at the end by Scribs. Southampton looking at a little bit scary with the pistols there, taking down 3 players in their kind of eco round, just pistols. And you're right, it all depends on where this orb kind of, if it finds action early, if it does get a pick early. Southampton, again, prioritising water control, have taken it from the T's, and it's going to result in a really big reaction from them, just kind of taking long control instead. Hanno now towards Dice. Yeah. Well, I don't actually think he did spot them towards long. I think he spotted the guys kind of more towards connector. Okay. That lurk smoke coming down from long, feigning presence with just arrow there. And Swansea have retaken the B short. Looks like we're at the, a lot of their team is.
It's a nice shot there. 5-on-4. That's good for Team 4. Swansea do seem to be favouring the B bomb site at the moment. They have 1 player just slowly lurking up towards Monster. Well,
yeah, they just haven't got the information towards A.
Does. That's a good flash. Gets traded out though. 2 frags for Team 4, but Merlin trades back. 3-on-2. Lucky Zip. That's a very good frag to find. Hanno bringing down Wacky Zip to 23 of the AWP. And he's close though in the smoke on the B bomb site. No one expects him to be there.
They passed each other in the smoke.
Merlin left in a very awkward position, sort of sandwiched. He's being picked up. He's going for the plant, and Hanno spots him. Yeah,
Swansea kind of had to commit towards B there because they lost Arrow. I mean, the only player with a UMP, so it doesn't matter too much. But the issue comes is they've got no information towards that entire half of the bomb site. In that entire half of the map. I guess, and bomb site. But so they retake short control. They go for this B execute. Some kind of weird plays coming through the smoke. It looks like Andy hit a time in and kind of went through the smoke, and Merlin went through the smoke at the same time. They just missed each other. It's a very, very close affair once again. So slight early trades of damage here off, the nades. But the economy for the CT still is not great. You see Ting just on a FAMAS, J-Shaft just on a Deagle. And it's just back and forth here. Can't call it.
Yeah, that's a huge rank to find from Hanno there. He's doing very well so far with the AWP. There's not a lot of utility as well in the hands of the Team 4 players, which will be quite crucial. So they have to make sure they save it towards the later period of the time. And seems to be some long aggression here. Skep wins that exchange, taking the head of Arrow.
Oh, wow.
Good frag from Merlin. Bringing numbers back down to 4 on Team 4.
Yeah, really good frag from Merlin there. Unfazed by the grenade and the spam through the wall from the AWP, and just takes the head off Skep. And now Andy. And now pushing more towards this truck. Takes the head off Hanno as well. Merlin has been so instrumental in these kind of swing changes into the rounds for Swansea. Scrivs finds J-Shaft. It's down to 3-on-1 from Ting. CT's left with it all to do. This round has been completely undone by Merlin. What a free piece from him. Really nice shots. And Swansea will take the 12th round.
Wow,
on the board
a round
for them.
that I thought was definitely going to be in Team 4's favor. And Merlin just says, nope, I want it. I'm taking it home. And he walks in and gets a triple. And that's the round swung back into Swansea's favor. And they just win that from those 3 quick frags. So well done, Merlin. That's incredible.
Yeah, he did that all on 25 points of health as well. So wow, what an incredible play from
What an absolute
Merlin.
wizard.
Brilliant.
Oh, okay. Money is still doing pretty poor for Team 4. But I think they're going to force around this FAMAS. Just a few pistols, nothing too exciting.
Yeah, that round might define the map. Because if you look at the money, not great. Another save. I would safely assume that Swansea are going to be picking up 13 here, unless something goes disastrously wrong, especially with this long stack coming out of Team 4. Swansea not really biting into it either. They're taking short control early. Scripps even holding for this swing. But they will find one, but the information has been gathered, and it should be a safe bomb plant on the B site for Swansea.
AK recovered. I wonder if Team 4 want to save that FAMAS and AK for the next round. Looks like they're still going to try to do some more damage. Skep might run into 2 Swansea players on the A-bomb site if he's not careful. We kind of just want to, save as much as they can for the next round. Oh, that's a
Nice
good
shot
shot from Arrow. Very aware. Towards window. Awkward angles for Vonis to hold. But he does find J-Shaft. The 2 rifles still in the hands of Team 4. Don't want to lose these. He's going to go investigate. He finds Skep. That's the AK down.
That's the aim punch as well. And now this will be the make or break round for the CT side, Southampton. If they want to have any chance of kind of staying alive in this game, they need to win this round right now.
Yeah,
and Swansea.
Make or break.
Swansea's bank looking very healthy. Swansea's control on the game looking very healthy. Hanno looking for this connector pick early.
And you
will find one.
Almost a collateral there if you move to cross there slightly more to the right. But doesn't matter. Arrow finds 2 in return. 3 on 3 now. J-Shaft on 11 points of health.
They're so back and forth. Either. Yeah, so back and forth this game, Tim, and it does favour the T side trades. You know, going the way of the T's, forcing the rebuys, forcing the extra commitment, forcing kind of the nerves to set in on this CT side, as I know this round is so important for them. And now Swansea with another pace change, just slowing it down completely, making the CTs doubt where they are going. And I've got 2 guys stacked towards B, which looks to be the correct call for now, but this could all change in the next 30 seconds or so.
I think the utility here is going to seal them the round if they use it correctly, as Team 4 don't really have anything to put up against it. They don't really, they've only got 1 flashbang in the hands of Andy, who's by himself on A, which is not where the hit is going to, eventually take place by the looks of things. 30 seconds left.
He could gamble. He will rotate down now off the back of this utility, but they have no information.
Oh, that's a big frag from Wacky Zip, and he finds J-Shaft as well. All left on Andy now. Looks like he's going to try to save that rifle.
They're so clever from the T side again, right? Just literally kind of having that aggressive pace change towards, the top mid, where Arrow does his work, takes the AWP and Skep out of the round as well, and then they just slow it down. They just make you think, are you going to go A? Are you going to go B? We don't know. And because you've got no information, you can't for sure say. You're kind of left in limbo on the CT side, and they're just kind of waiting, and they're not really too sure what to do. And really, really clean entries from Wacky entering onto the B bomb site too. And Andy is just looking to save his M4 in playground. Doesn't look like he's going to be found.
Ooh.
Even will pick up Arrow after time. But that won't matter to him because, look at the money on the left-hand side of your screen. 12k, 10k, 10k, basically 12k, and 4.5. Can buy again.
Yeah, it's very rough now for Team 4. It looks like they're going to just eco this one. They want to play towards that overtime mark. That's going to be a challenge. 6 rounds in a row if they're giving up this one. But never count them out of a pistol round. They have shown some success with the Desert Eagles. Arrow mixing things up, being aggressive, finding one, and Bonus finds Andy pushing through Monster Smoke as well. Gets the rifle down. 3 pistols left. Ting finds one. Merlin trades. Merlin's playing super well this game so far. I think he's on 22 frags now as he drops another double. All left on Skep with the Desert Eagle.
Yeah, Swansea giving Southampton a taste of their own medicine almost on this T side in terms of holding for their pushes and Southampton being punished for it. Obviously, it's more prevalent on the pistol rounds that you're going to take more risks. As Skep does find the head of Arrow, will pick himself up an AK. Will need to be saving this into the next one as their economy is still very much in tatters. But we need to keep buy-in going forward because they can't lose a round now. Otherwise, they will give over the map to Swansea.
It's all well and good, Skep just padding out his stats, but unfortunately those kills don't really do much in terms of the economy damage. Swansea have just been on a roll on the T side, and yeah, you ideally wanted to save that rifle, but didn't look too good, especially with the flank coming in there.
Yeah, CT's
round now.
Back up against the wall here. What can they do? Potentially last round, Tim. Don't count out the CTs just yet. As we see more of a heavier B execute towards,
huge utility damage
again.
Good flashes as well, but it's been a team flash there from Arrow, blinding his teammates, helping out Ting. Big shutdown coming in. All 5 players still left alive as well. Fornes, lone man against 5 with the AK in his hands, and J-Shaft shuts him down. 15 to 10. 5 rounds they need to win, Southampton, if they want to bring it back to overtime. Is it too much to ask for?
Yeah, I like the idea, right, from Swansea again, just hitting up another pace change. They've gone slow rounds, fast rounds. They throw another fast round in, but again, Southampton were ready for that huge utility damage coming out, which I think is a tale for both CT sides this game. As Hanno looks to get the early pick, does spot the head, and will take out Arrow. So we're now in this 4 versus 5. Oh, gets away. just about. Has been previously punished for hanging around picks too long. I don't remember a few rounds back, Arrow capitalized and took down both Hanno and Skep.
Ting also finding some early damage towards his direction in the round, brought down to 48 points of health. Swansea looking to slow things down again. Go towards B short. They want to fight for that control, and Ting with the double denies them that control.
And then leaves, right? Gets 2 kills. Says, you know, I don't need any more. Runs away. Denies Vornes the trade, and is now left onto him in this 1 versus 4. Trying to lurk out Monster, do some damage. Won't find anything. 15-11 now. Money, not a problem for the T side. They can still buy. They can still be healthy. You know, not too many rebuys coming out of the CT side. Their money's looking okay now. And we're right into the tail end of the game. What a game we've got on our hands. I think the T side, if they want success, they need to keep doing more of these pace changes mid-round, right? So fast, early control, and then just kind of letting team for doubt. Is when the CTs are doubting, as Hanno spots the foot there. Nice shot onto Vornes.
Again, finding that early advantage, man advantage, very important for Team 4. That makes things a little bit more awkward for Swansea. They do look like they want to go towards that B short control again. Ting isn't there, lucky for them. But there are 3 players on the B bomb site. So Team 4 are prepared.
Grenade not quite finding the mark there, but has triggered a response, and utility has been dropped on this CT side. Utility very much still in the pockets of Swansea, as it looks like 2 players will be flashed in Monster for this early engagement. But maybe not.
Zip finding J-Shaft, but does get dinked down to 7 HP in the process. 4 on 4. Utility being thrown towards that B-bomb site. They haven't got the bomb in their hands. Gonna grab it just now with 26 seconds left on the clock. Andy sprays down 2. Merlin finds Ting, and Arrow finds Andy back in return. Frags left, right, and center, but favoring Team 4. All left on Arrow in a 1-on-2.
Yeah, Hanno's just smoked himself off. Interesting decision coming out of Hanno there, but Skep will find the connector flank, find the timing, and pick up a 12th on the board for Southampton. But there will be another buy coming in for Swansea. Money, not an issue for the rest of the game, I do believe, on both sides. Swansea, you know, need to close this before it gets too out of hand. If it goes to overtime, then it's really anyone's game. But Swansea with the, you know, the map very much in their control. Well, it looked to be anyway. They're now 15-12.
Wonder where, I think Hanno's playing towards toilets there, the AWP. Not going for any aggressive peaks this time. Playing a bit more of a passive angle towards middle. Swansea being very careful. Arrow doesn't want to taste that bullet anymore. So that's a big entry frag for Merlin to find at the start of the round. Still over a minute on the clock as well. And no one there to refrag for Skep either. Sort of caught in no man's land. And
yeah, for sure.
A-long control.
And that's a good start for Swansea. Just getting the man advantage. Taking the control. And then this is what I like. Just kind of waiting to see if there's any more mistakes coming out of the side of Southampton. Doesn't look like there will be. I think the next kind of pressure we'll find Arrow kind of pushing long now on a time in. Well, looks like he might catch Hanno right here, right now.
He does so. There's no more players here that can prevent the bomb plant, unfortunately. 5-on-3. Do or die now for Team 4. 3-on-4s on the retake. Andy quickly going down, standing in that molly. Merlin really wants to take this game home now. He's got a triple in this round. Ting finds 1. 1-on-4. He has to ace to win the round. And Merlin finishes the game off. finishing the game with, how many frags was that? 27. Huge game from him.
Yeah, and when they mattered, right? When they needed him most, Merlin was there. Literally incredible scenes, right? All throughout the game from Merlin. Such impactful kills right across the board, picking up 4Ks, 3Ks when it mattered. When it looked like Swansea were down and out of the round. Not so much in that final round, but I think there was a 3v5 where he was on like 20 HP and he just one taps like 3 of them in a row, gets them off the bomb site and concedes the round. It looks like the map's been changed over here. It looks like we are going towards Vertigo. And I think this will definitely be Swansea's pick. I can't imagine Southampton would have picked this at all. I think we'll get confirmation of that when they probably start CT. I imagine that's the side they would have picked going into this. But Vertigo, personally, my favorite map, kind of in the map pool right now. Lots of verticality. You'll be seeing a lot of fights for this A ramp that will be very pivotal. And, I want to see more mid control coming out of teams. I think you're starting to see it more kind of in the pro scene a lot more, but mid's just very, very overlooked. Southampton's actually started on this T side, so I'm not really too sure what's going on. I'm assuming it's Swansea's map pick. It might be, it might not be. We will get confirmation for you very shortly, and when I know, I will tell you. But going back to kind of my point is, I want to see more mid control from kind of the T side. I think it's often quite overlooked. It is actually Swansea's map pick. I am just being told in my ear. So we were right, just not right about the sides. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of, exchanges of utility, which were, very potent in overpass as well. CT side of Swansea doing really well to kind of hold back their utility. Team 4 were doing a lot of these B executes. I think Swansea also were doing quite a lot of B executes kind of in that latter stage of the game. It's just which team can hold their nerve more, can kind of, hold on to their util to have that extra, molly, extra smoke. And I think those will be kind of the differences in what was a very, very close first game headed into the second game now.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting, definitely, where each team decide to take control of the map. The A ramp is definitely a point of contention. Lots of teams enjoy taking the A bomb site. It feels like as a bigger space, less of a choke point, so easier to take, therefore. However, yeah, the utility damage was pretty big and influential on the overpass, so it's important if they can carry on the same trend in this map. I think both teams did really well with it. I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're quite right. I think with the A bomb site it's a lot more kind of set executes, kind of just with the B bomb site, it's kind of you just put one flash through the gap, right, and you just kind of run up the stairs. You've got your 2 mollies that kind of go to the back corners of the site over the default boxes. You've then got your flashbangs that kind of go right behind, almost off the map, to kind of blind the team kind of holding towards CT spawn mid boost area. It's a lot more of a fast pocket strat. I think Swansea's T side will be interesting to watch. If anything, if Overpass anything to go on, I'm expecting a ramp control early out of them from T side, and then maybe just kind of sitting back, waiting, then walking back over the ramp, maybe taking more of the mid fights, maybe more of the B control. It'd be interesting to see how the CTs will adapt to that. It looks like this, the players are just kind of jumping into the server now, back and forth. Tim, you got any personal highlights from that Overpass game we just saw?
I think it has to be that Merlin three frag entry on 25 HP when he just is unfazed by the nade and the spray, and then just takes the round into his own hands and just wins it for Swansea. I think that for me was the highlight of that game. Sort of a huge momentum shift, and just you really felt like Swansea were gonna fight till the end. They really wanted to win that one. Or at least Merlin wanted to, and he proved it.
For sure. I'm sure they all do, right? I think two notable mentions from me. I think when Hanno got that pick early in connector, and then Arrow quickly adjusted, was in the position above Party to kind of take all of them out the round in terms of Skep and Hanno, just kind of denying, trading instantly, and then also getting an additional one. And then in that last round as well, Merlin again stepping up, kind of taking matters into his own hands as well on the Swansea side. On the Team 4 side, Andy had some very impactful plays, kind of more towards T side. I know J-Shaff, we haven't really spoken too much about J-Shaff yet in this series, but he was popping up every now and then with an important frag, kind of holding the B-bomb site down as well. as
like
people
Andy
are
played
readying
very
up.
well, and had a lot of good frags, had a lot of impact throughout the round. Ting had really good shot control on occasions. Good, team played there with flashbangs coming in and then him spraying down multiple. And yeah, when Hanno had the AWP on CT side and he aggressed with it, he generally came out on top. So that was pretty good for Team 4. I don't really know how much that will be of a factor in this map, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's it all comes down to mainly this A ramp fight. I think for T side, I think if the trades go the way of the CTs, you know, who are we seeing start CT? Southampton, right? So if Swansea take ramp really early and then the trades are going the way of Southampton, that's going to make them rethink kind of their whole T side almost. But if Swansea are getting this control, then slowing it down, they're kind of forcing the rotations. Kind of, we're going to see maybe a very dominant T side from Swansea. And it's quite a scary prospect if you're sat here a map down on your own map pick, kind of having to battle back on Vertigo. A map I know for a fact Team 4 do not play all that often. So it'd be interesting to see how this one ends up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge for Team 4. It's not a map they play often, as you said. I think last time we cast them on this map, they struggled a little bit, but as the game went on, they started to kind of develop new ideas and come up with strategies and finish the game. So it's interesting to see if they have sort of remembered, I guess, those or sort of memorized those strategies and will implement them today, or are kind of gonna wing it, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. I know they've been practicing kind of this week. They have not been practicing on Vertigo, however, but hopefully, they've been playing for a while as a unit. Hopefully, their camaraderie, their chem, kind of all comes a factor. Whatever map you play, right, you just got to take it round by round, and it's important. I mean, the tilt factor is a factor for any team, but especially in this series, I think Team 4 show that they could handle that well after being 6-1 down, kind of fighting back, and then being 15 down and then fighting back. Is they're not going to give up here, and Swansea is kind of their series to lose right now in terms of the fact that it's their map pick. They've taken the map off the other opponents, and they just kind of got to also take it round by round and just make sure that they can hopefully close out this series for them 2-0. But we're sorry again for the delays. It looks like only one player out of this, the 10 of them isn't ready. So hopefully we can get that sorted for you ASAP, and we can kind of get and jump straight into the action into this one. And I'm just seeing all of these 1v1 warm-ups going on right now. It's not that excited. I want to see a pistol round. We're going to see how the CTs play the pistols. Speaking of pistols, a lot of times kind of people will just go free towards A, one mid, one B. I'd quite like to, there's kind of a meta as we kind of actually head into this pistol. I can stop talking, about ifs and buts. We can actually just see what is actually going to happen. But there's more of a meta shift right now, especially like kind of teams are taking more towards the B bomb site early. But we are actually going to get into the pistol now. Tim, I'll let you take over from me. I'm going to see what happens here.
I mean, we're going to see, the bog standard smoke diffuse kit on Hanno and everyone else with Kevlar. As for the T side, there's a few P250s, 3 to be exact, flashbang and smoke on 2 players as well. And the people with P250s don't have armor, interestingly enough. Looks like they're going towards the A ramp, smoke's being thrown. Small bit of damage being exchanged here and there. Frags, though, going in favor of Team 4. Wacky Zip trades back onto Hanno. And he's still pushing up on this ramp, onto the ramp, flanking Swansea. Bomb does get planted. That's going to be good for future economy. But Wacky Zip falls off the map and should be a defuse here.
Yeah, I actually think that's... I imagine it wasn't deliberate, as Skep is just kind of figuring out what happened, how he's managed that. Can't see him quite on the cast, but I'm sure Wacky Zip is down there somewhere just vibing. But out of the round in this one, important for Swansea to get a bomb plant though, as that will help stable their economy early, and it will actually enable them to force buy here. scary prospect. Galil's against MP9s. Galil's often favoured. MP9 shreds armor, but I'd much rather have a Galil.
Swansea look to be taking this round a bit slower. They're just waiting for any mid-aggression, I think. There's no one there, though, at the moment. Team 4 playing pretty passively, all things considered.
Ooh, that's a missed flash by J-Chef as well. Looks like he was trying to kind of flash mid for them. And he will actually get taken down by Scribs. Low HP, and it's this mid-B split that is working very well for Swansea. As it's all left onto Hanno now into this 1 versus 4. And I can't imagine he goes for this.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he just wants to save that farmhouse. You know, the CT economy is going to be in shambles, but unfortunately isn't able to do that. Vornez pushing through, finding him with the MP9. 1-1.
Yeah, and it's just the importance of that bomb plant, right? It's just, you know, pistol bomb plant T side enables these Galil force-ups. You know, when you've got map knowledge, when you know what you want to do with the map, holding for the aggression early, Swansea do. They take mid, they split B. Really nice kind of, you know, anti-force buy. Working really well for them. As it looks like Andy's just kind of missed a smoke there, just reduced down to Deagles. Only real kind of presence of utility can be felt on Skep, and he's all the way in mid. And we're now seeing Swansea kind of group up together. Again, just making sure no aggressive pushes are happening on any sides of the map, and then moving as a unit and trading together.
Andy peeking, getting punished though. Doesn't find anything for his troubles. Man advantage for Swansea as they look towards the A-bomb site. Wacky Zip pushing up, finding Ting. 3 Desert Eagles remaining. Will they find any damage? Any damage will benefit them in future rounds as economic damage. At the moment, doesn't look like they're going to find anything. Vornez and Wacky Zip brought down to 11 and 15 points of health, respectively. No players going down, and that's the second round for Swansea. Fairly clean, all things considering.
Yeah, farming that SMG money as well, just rebuilding the bank even more. And speaking of banks, Team 4's bank is in the bin. And we're going to see a full USP save coming out of them early. Another pace change coming out of Swansea now as they run towards the B ramp. I really like this T side. These T sides from Swansea is just slow, fast, you know, kind of constant changing up where they want to be, where they want to go. And it's working out, you know, pretty much almost every time, bar a few exceptions. Ting just getting 1 there, but another really, really clean round coming out of Swansea.
Yeah, that. Speaking of B, they went, you know, B and they didn't stop. They held W and it worked out. Ting only found 1 there and did hit some nice stinks, but yeah, unfortunately only 1 frag in return. Good tempo switches from Swansea. They definitely, you know, look confident on this map. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like we're going to have a tech pause coming in here. I'm not too sure what the reason for that is. However, I don't think this is going to be, you know, too long. I hope not anyway, because this map has started out, you know, so chaotic, almost kind of picking up where Overpass left off. I mean, we're going to see kind of a buy coming out of Team 4 now off the back of that full USP eco. So was he doing the right thing? It's just kind of, again, this very slow, reserved approach to T side, but also at the same time not, right? Because you're taking this map control and then you're slowing it down and you're just saying, you know, we got the map control now, we'll force a mistake out of you, and then we'll execute on the bomb site.
Yeah,
they're doing it really well.
I mean, I think it's definitely some sort of confidence factor being in play here. You know, they're playing very, yeah, just they're aware of what's happening. They wait when they need to, and then they execute and push W whenever they have an advantage or know what's happening. So yeah, that round there was kind of unfortunate for Team 4 as they just chose to sort of stack together. I don't even want to say in the wrong direction because I think they were just heard on middle, and Swansea just kind of, you know, countered it by going towards B very quickly.
Yeah, it's just another a clean anti-eco from Swansea. Just making sure that no players, are rebuying those weapons. Can sometimes be a hindrance. Obviously, Scribs is still going to be on this Mag 10 against M4s, but we'll see if he can make it work. Kind of got this default CT set up from
Looks like
Team 4.
again, though.
Yeah.
Quick damage. J-Shaft finds the heads of Scribs, and that's all he'll find. Wacky Zip trading. Skep finding 2. He pushed through the smoke behind them, and Wacky Zip takes care of him. 2-on-2 now. HP favoring Southampton. Utility, though, better in the hands of Swansea. Bomb being planted. Nice boost over the smoke. Isn't quite able to kill Wacky Zip there. However, Ting does get needed, and Andy finds Merlin in the process. 1-on-2, and that's a really good retake for Team 4.
Yeah, dropping a smoke there. Not really too sure why the round's done. Don't need to waste that. Looks like he might even have to rebuy it. Interesting decision there, but overall, not a bad retake, all things considered. J-Shaft kind of buying time for his team, even getting a frag in the process. Nice, clever boost coming over the smoke. Love to see it. And yeah, 3-2, back and forth again.
I think we can expect a slower round from Swansea. They will go for that map control, but I doubt they'll be executing it very quickly. As Team 4 did punish them last round for it. There was a bomb plant though, so it didn't go too badly. And now we're looking towards that middle. Ting. Throwing a good nade, finds the head of Merlin. And arrow's been brought down to 56 as well. Man advantage for Team 4.
Yeah, that's one of the stars going down for Swansea as well. Merlin been so impactful in Overpass, making a good impression on Vertigo as well. But has been locked out of this one, which is only going to favour the CT side as Andy picks up another one on towards Scribs. But the T's have, they're all grouped up together. They've got mid control as they are trading. They trade out Hanno there. Skep lurking around the edges of the smoke. And it's now left onto Vornes, who catches Andy off guard, but will be traded immediately. And we're all tied up at 3-3.
Yeah, that's a good round for Team 4 there. They did very well in sort of locking down the middle position by just smoking it off and forcing Swansea to sort of sit there or rotate back. Oh, some early knife damage coming through on Swansea. That won't really help them into this round, but, might be alright. Hannah picking a ramp, doesn't connect to the AWP. Just barely survives with a sliver of health. Andy peeking from sandbags, not too sure as to why, but it's okay because Skep refrags with a cheeky HE grenade. 4-on-4. Bomb still dropped. Quite far away. Trying to go for the boost. He gets spammed through the wall by Wacky Zip.
Yeah, I must have heard the jump up there. And Wacky Zip will then go on and punish Skep as well, loitering around short just a little bit too long. Now we're into this 2v3. We finally see that A ramp engage that we were talking about before the map started, favouring T side. And it's now left all onto J-Shaft, who can't get anything done, unfortunately for Southampton. And it's Swansea kind of taking the round back in their favour. And again, look at the money on the CT side. Not good. We're now going to have these pistols being bought out for Southampton. All these rebuys, all this economic damage that Swansea are doing early, even just by just get a few kills here and there, bringing the rounds close each time, that's only going to favour them going forward because the CT economy is so fragile.
Definitely. Merlin finding a quick opening here on towards the B-bomb site, and Wacky Zip finding Hanno on A. 2 players going down, and still over a minute 30 left to play. Skep though finally punishing Merlin with the Desert Eagle there. Be interesting to see if Team 4 find any more damage this round.
Swansea again is just denying any sort of a way back into the round for that CT side, and it looks almost certain now There will be a 5th on the board for Swansea.
I feel like Swansea are going to definitely sort of favour the A bomb site at the moment. It seems to be that they have a player lurking always behind in the CT spawn area, and so far we haven't really seen that player, actually take full advantage of the flank. The players from Team 4 die before they encounter the flank, and I feel like Swansea may want to keep trying that strategy until they actually get to fully take, effect of that flanking player. Then going for some early aggression, winning that engagement against Wacky Zip.
Yeah, kind of an interesting smoke put down there, though. Obviously, probably wasn't as intentional of a one-way as it actually turned out to be, but that does heavily favour Swansea, as they can see under it. And they've spot their attention again, though. They're kind of making inroads more towards the B bomb site, but it doesn't look like that's where they want to end up, as it looks like Scribs is heading more towards mid. And I'm happy to see the mid and kind of B is being more present and prevalent in Swansea's T side. It's just kind of, it's not conventional, and it should be conventional. Because you've just got Merlin just kind of causing all kinds of chaos, kind of swerving these rotations, and now the full B exec is coming in for Swansea.
J-Shaft was the healthy player, so to speak, because Skep was on the B bomb site earlier, and he was on 12, and he gets taken care of. 2 on 4. Retaking of an AWP. Hano does find a quick frag onto Scribs.
Yeah, watch out for this flank though.
Andy aware. Will he find a double? Yes, he does. But Merlin with the flank, something that Swansea seem to be very good at doing on this map currently. They always have the correct timing.
Yeah, it just comes back to map knowledge as well. Like, obviously they've picked this, they're confident, they know the map very well, they know the rotation timings, and it allows this lurk to have a very, very positive impact. It looked actually a bit scary there. The retake looked good from Andy and Hano, but Merlin coming in with the late lurk, able to convert the round for Swansea, and it's now 6-3 here to the T side. And pistols again, the CTs.
Swansea going towards that B bomb site. Well, there's only one player, who is J-Shaft with a P250. He backs off. Skep finding one. 3 on 3. AK in the hands of Skep. That's a nice stink from J-Shaft. Looks like Team 4 considering the retake here. They know a player is low. Warner's playing close around that generator, and Skep takes care of him. 2 on 2. Hano pushing through, doesn't find anything. Wacky Zip shuts him down. All left down onto Skep on a 1 on 2. And it doesn't look like time's favouring him at the moment. Both
should consider saving this.
Yeah, I think he should just run off. Almost getting taken down by Wacky Zip, but doesn't matter. Scribs trades for Wacky Zip there and goes down to the bomb eventually. So no one survives.
Yeah, Swansea aren't going to mind that too much, right? They get the round conversion. Yeah, they all die to pistols, but look at the money. Again, they can all force up. Arrow even kind of buying an AWP. They've got money to buy in case they all die again. They can rebuy an AWP if they lose this one. Like, Swansea in a really healthy spot right now. 4-round advantage on this T side. The map is slightly T-sided, but J-Chef in this off angle will actually take the AWP out of the round, as we're just talking about it.
It's nice to see from J-Shaft mixing it up, holding a more aggressive position, denying any space from Swansea, and Swansea get punished for not checking their corners. And playing on the A-bomb site, looking towards that ramp, but there's no one there at the moment. Swansea just slowing things down, considering their options. Hano might see some action soon, though, as Merlin throws a nice nade onto Andy, brings him down to 48.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about this Swansea side is their utility is really good. Like, their HEs, their incendiaries, perfectly timed, perfectly placed, it looks like. That's a really good example of that, as Andy is dinked down to 50 points of health. Nice shot from Hanno there onto Scribs, the mid lurker. Team 4 aware now that there will be a mid lurker in the rounds somewhere, and it has been punished. It's all left now into this 2v5. Vornes, Wacky Zip, both towards A, both towards the short catwalk area.
They have the bomb, and some good utility damage coming through. They find Teng through the smoke, and he brought down to 38 now. 4 on 2. That's
Nice
a
shot.
nice headshot. He finds another. That's a double now. Bringing it onto a 2 on 2, and both Team 4 players are on the flank. The call has been made as Wacky Zip goes down. Vornes on 11 points of health in a 1 on 2. He's caught out in the middle by Skep. And that's the round to Southampton.
I'll tell you what though, what a round. 2v5 to 2v2 after plant.
Yeah, definitely shouldn't be coming that close. I mean, I don't know. The angles maybe that Southampton are holding are not, you know, the crossfires are not there in order to kind of help each other. Because Vornes just walks in, finds one frag, peeks another frag, taking these one-on-one engagements and just winning them.
Yeah, really, really good work from Vornes there. We mentioned, literally right at the start of the series, he's one to watch out for. Showed up a little bit on Overpass and now showing, you know, what he's all about here on Vertigo. Some nice early nade damage coming in from the CT side. But Arrow's fast out mid here. Has only really got Hanno to contest with, it looks like, on the minimap. As they set up to deny mid control from the CTs.
Utility is quite low in the hands of the CTs, and Swansea are throwing a lot of theirs towards middle at the moment. Bomb's still kind of left outside T-spawn. Merlin finding J-Shaft and Arrow, finding Skep. Will he find another? He does. Double down onto Hanno. Ting trading though. Andy picking up Wacky Zip, bringing it onto a 2-on-3. But HP low for the CT players now. Things are getting awkward. Bomb has been picked up. It's going to be planted now. I think ideally Team 4 should save this as their money isn't doing too hot.
Yeah, but with both players low, it might be a call to kind of almost go for it, kind of Hail Mary, trying to get their way back into the game, put another round on the board, but that will not go the way of the CT side, and Swansea will pick up an 8th here. J-Shaft being caught out by that boost. It looks like he's smoking more towards the front of the stairs to deny info, but that boost completely mitigates it, can see under the smoke. Wasn't actually a factor as he kind of peeked out to the left-hand side anyway. But it's just left Southampton again on what, the 3rd, 4th eco of the half?
Yeah, I think it's their 4th one. Yeah, just pistols again. Andy throwing a smoke. 2 flashbangs.
That's another miss smoke.
Skep finds one though, the P250. Arrow trades into Hanno. Merlin finding entries on 8.
Yeah, that's a bomb site open, so that's going to be the call made to Vornes and Arrow to pick up that bomb, move it over towards A. As it looks like Swansea are just going to be locking out this bomb site.
Skep has the rifle for Team 4. He's the only one with one in his hands. J-Shaft finds Merlin creeping into that smoke. And then Skep goes down to Wacky Zip. Just going to try to grab that rifle, I think, and maybe potentially save, find some exit frags. I'm not sure. They could consider going for it as the bomb hasn't gone down yet, but it's a bit risky considering their economy isn't too good at the moment. Shaft's aggressing, almost shutting down Wacky Zip, but isn't able to, and Ting gets fragged by Vornes there, bringing the 9th round onto the table for Swansea.
Yeah, it's actually a really nice adjustment from Swansea there. It's like they were going to commit to the A site, but then they slowed down once the trades kind of didn't really fall their way, allowed the flank back up mid, and we see this mid being used again late round to reap rewards for Swansea. So now onto the buy, and a really nice pickup for Hanno there early will take out Scribs into the round. You know, I feel like that's what the CT side need to do more, kind of, you know, take these active fights. Because, you know, the trades have been back and forth on both teams. Both teams got very good aim. I'd like to see some of these early aggression fights, because although Swansea are holding for it, like, if you can get a man advantage, like as what's just been occurred here, it's 5v4, really nice utility damage as well. But you got to be wary of this spam that has actually caught Ting out in the past.
Finds one actually before he goes down. 2 frags go towards Swansea. They're looking for more 3-on-3 at the moment. Rudy in the back there. And he gets taken down by Vornes again.
Yeah, we just spoke about good utility coming out of CT side, and then really, really, really well executed onto the A-bomb site from Swansea there. Just letting the mollies do the work, kind of shutting the CTs out of the round. There has to be a save call here. Look at their money again. I feel like that's my catchphrase, but literally look at them. What a shot from Vornes onto J-Shaft. As it's just, 150 on Skep, 350 Ting, 100 J-Shaft, 300 Andy. Like, it's the last round of the half next. They're going to need to buy. But what can they buy? What's their loss bonus? They're on full loss bonus. So, you can get pretty, get Famus out of here, some utility. They need to prioritize utility, though, and just stop Swansea exploiting kind of all areas of the map. If Ting wants to prioritize a rifle, he could get, M4 armor. I'd like to more see a Famus coming out. Maybe some drops coming over from Hanno. So we are seeing these Famuses, more utility, and I think Swansea, it'd be good for them if they just keep doing what they're doing. They don't need to pace change at the moment, because what he's doing is working. And Hanno again with the early pick onto that A ramp fight, which I haven't actually seen too much of, Tim.
Yeah, it's usually either given up completely or they aggress way too deep. There's no in between. So Hanno peeking it again with early aggression and mixing it up from the B bomb site to the A bomb site, is very important, and a very, it gives a big advantage to his team realistically. He finds a second frag there as Merlin pushes up onto A short, and yeah, the AWP coming in clutch for Southampton. Andy dying to some good utility, and as he tries to escape, gets punished by Vornes.
Yeah, dropping in that A smokes. Oh, looks like that's missed from Arrow, though. So although we've been praising the utility, not too good. Hanno gets aggressive and takes another one out. It's all left onto Vornes now, onto this 1v4. Looks like, unless he can put out some miracles, which he has been doing in like these 2v5 situations. Perfect nade. Again, a good pickup onto J-Shaft now. 1 versus 3. They know where he is. 35 seconds now. And Hanno, what a time to come alive for him. 9-13 in the end for Hanno after picking up that 4K. And it's just, I don't know, tail of the tape really on CT side. It's like once they get in these early picks, it's working out a lot better. But I think it's more a case of they're not really experienced in the map and they're playing it on a competitive level. So Swansea are just kind of exploiting that. Heading into this T side now. I don't know what their plan is. Heading towards a ramp.
For Team 4, they decided to all go for the Kevlar pistol buy. They're going to rush up that A ramp. Go for that face-on engagement by the looks of things.
Yeah, look at that rotation though from Swansea.
Frags going in favor of Team 4. Dinks also. Here comes trades. Only finding one though. Hanno finding the head of Scribs, leaving it all down onto Wacky Zip, who's got a defuse and a smoke, but I doubt he'll be using that this round.
Yeah, it's actually a very, very good play out of the T side. It's just rather than all this mind games, screw that, I'm just going to hold W. We're going to take some early fights. Got to get a bit more confidence back. Wacky Zip.
Poor unlucky
Traded out by Skep there, but it's just kind of getting these early fights, getting the confidence going. You're not out the half yet,
no.
Right? But it's this second round after the pistol win on T side where it can be a little bit scary. I think if you think back to the last map, whilst it was on the CT side, Southampton won the pistol and then lost to full Deagles. Doesn't look like we're going to get full Deagles this time. 3 USPs, a 5-7, and a Deagle. Looks to be more mid-control from T side.
Ting splitting out 2 players. I think you hear the footsteps now, definitely. Merlin finding one with the Desert Eagle. Skep trading him. Hanno with the Mac 10, finding the head of Scrib. Skep getting Vornes. All left down onto Aero and Wacky Zip now. 157 and 1 USP. Only one player going down, which is Ting. 2-on-4 does favor Team 4 as they have planted the bomb onto that B bomb site. I like that they're playing together. Andy tapping away the head of Wacky Zip there. All left hand onto Arrow, who's in CT spawn. He does find Andy. He was low. I'll try to save that AK rifle for the next round, I think.
Yeah, that's a really nice pickup.
Yeah, their economy, as you have mentioned, is definitely...
Ooh.
He doesn't manage to save it, but he does find another frag for his troubles before he goes down.
Yeah, it's not too... You know, in the early rounds, this is when, like, kind of the frags matter. So, good job on Arrow actually taking, you know, forcing an AK rebuy from the team. And yeah, money's not great. Will force, you know, rifles, but limited utility on the side of Swansea, meaning they might use it early to try and gain an advantage. It looks like they are contesting ramp early. Nice shot from Wacky Zip, finding Andy early as well.
Chef lurking towards B of the Max 10 here, shooting the toes of Arrow. Isn't able to quite fully capitalize on that. Tang brought down to 9 HP. Good utility damage again. Kind of been one of the most important factors here of this series.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's that big ramp fight we just saw. It's just Swansea's utility just lock in Southampton out of the ramp. As I say, that trades are coming back and forth now into the ramp onto this 3-on-3. And look at that rotates for Swansea. Kind of all rotating off this B site now. And it looks like that's where Team 4 look to end up. I would be sending J-Shaff in first, kind of with that Mac 10, kind of making space and ground. Surely Swansea know this now after clearing A.
Yep, here comes the utility. There's one player here, who is Arrow. He only finds one. That's alright. However, HP does favor Swansea. Good smoke there, preventing any space, but doesn't matter. Script's pushing through the smoke and finding both of those players just after they planted the bomb. It's 11 rounds now for Swansea. And I don't know really what the plan's going to be here for Team 4. I assume they're going to buy a few pistols. I'm not sure if they're going to fully invest into this one, as money is kind of mostly on Skep and yeah, just Skep at the moment.
Yeah, they should buy into this though, right? Like, they should kind of take the advantage of the fact that, you know, Swansea's still going to be on some downgraded weapons, the MP9 from Arrow. You know, to compensate for that, he is taking space towards the B side of the map, and we're probably going to see this A engagement again early. If you look at the minimap, Swansea are taking and prioritizing A ramp control as it is smoked off, and T's literally can't do anything with it. Nice molly, nice re-smoke coming in from the CTs, just completely locking Team 4, you know, out of the ramp at all, denying them any kind of form of map control.
They're doing very well at denying that map control. However, you know, Voners and Wackies and Arrow have already used all their utility. So it might be a point of contention for Team 4 to then, you know, go and take that space after the CTs have wasted all their utility early on in the round. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. And I'm looking up that A ramp.
Gotta be careful of sandbags here.
I don't know if he's going to check it though. Doesn't want to make too much noise.
But he has.
But yeah, he's been heard now. So might be a rotation coming in, and it looks like there is. It's Merlin on 3 points of health, going to be playing onto that red box on bomb site.
Yeah, Bornes' location is still unknown, and there he is, taking out Hanno. All left onto J-Chef now in this 1 versus 5. Does find Bornes, will find Merlin, the low HP player. 1 versus 3 now. Wacky Zip also low on HP, but will find the head, and has a 12th round on the board for Swansea for their map pick in Vertigo.
Feel like Southampton need to maybe mix things up. Have we seen a B rush from them yet? I don't know if we've seen that. You know, a fast.
We haven't, and it looks like you're right, but it is just Glocks.
don't underestimate the Glocks. Because we all know the famous Glocks meme from Dazed.
For sure, but what you can't really underestimate either is the armor. Is the actual, is, you know, actually having weapons and the utility as well.
Yeah, the advantage is definitely clear in favor of Swansea here, but a bomb plant would be ideal for Team 4 if they're able to find that.
I think if you contrast and you look at both maps, I think that when, you know, the CT, when Southampton won their rounds on CT side, you know, Swansea, it was normally a retake. There wasn't really too many like clean rounds where they denied a bomb. And yes, whilst it's great that they got a bomb plant here on T side, like this is like maybe, I think this is the most bomb plants they've had, you know, like compared to Overpass. I don't think there was too many bomb plants because this is the third one coming in now. But it is a 13th, and it will enable them to buy with utility, which is important for the T side. But they really need to battle back and make sure this doesn't, you know, Swansea don't hit 15 too early.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the bomb plant's going to help them a huge deal in terms of economy. I think without it, they would have a much worse buy this round. And are playing with the AWP.
What a shot!
But Arrow doing exactly what Hannah started doing on the CT side there. Early aggression of the AWP and finding a frag. Merlin finding Skep in middle as well. That's a 2-man advantage for Swansea now. Utility damage again. Ting and Wendy brought down to almost half HP just from 1 HE.
Yeah, this round looks like a done deal for Swansea to pick up their 14th. It's really good ramp control. Like the battle's not even happening because the spam's just coming through from Swansea. The utility's denying Team 4, Southampton any sort of space. And Vornet's even being flashed through the smoke. We'll get traded, we'll get picked up. It's now left all onto Ting and another 1 versus 4. I don't like his odds here, I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, Ting in a 1-on-4. We've seen him do it before. He's found 1, but he is brought down to 13. He doesn't have the bomb in his hands, but he still has 50 seconds, so it's not that big of an issue just yet. The utility coming in. Wacky pushing him, and he gets Ting. 14 rounds now for Swansea.
It's going to have to be a force out of the T side as well. Going to be Tech 9 armor, Mac 10s, maybe a couple of AKs if they can scrounge together what funds they have left in the bank. And I feel like they have to push past this utility, push past this smoke, maybe flash a ramp fast and just kind of, you know, bring the fight towards Swansea here. It looks like we are seeing more of that.
Early ramp control, and Frank's going in favor of Swansea though, as 2 men only go down for them, whereas 4 go down for Team 4, leaving it all down to Skep on a 1-on-3. He has time. However, there is a flank going in behind him, and it's all about the timing now. Merlin isn't peeking. Skep finds 2. Needs to find Merlin, who is behind him, I believe.
There is this flank. Merlin being very reserved. No, Skep's low HP, but doesn't know where he's going to take that bomb. Skep even giving up bomb control for the moment, just to kind of take a bit more ground, trying to work out where Merlin is. Really both patient plays. I tell you what, this could be a turning point for Southampton if they do win this, because the momentum would have swung again, and Skep picking up a very important round. He is on for the ace as well. What do you reckon? Do you reckon you can do it?
Oh, I think so, definitely. Skep is definitely one of the players that you want in this scenario, I think. So he's done very well so far, and Merlin has gone to the B bomb site, so it's all really, you know, winnable for Skep at the moment. He has the positional advantage, and the issue is he just doesn't know that. Doesn't know where Merlin is coming from. But yeah, he's planted the bomb. Now it's all down onto Merlin. I think now Skep should know where Merlin is coming from.
What an off angle as well.
And there we go. There's the ace. Huge plays from Skep.
Yeah, what a round. Was that 1v4, 1v3? I don't know. I mean, Wacky Zip, I thought he had the round locked out there when he was in that smoke, unchecked by Team 4. Skep turns around, domes him. And then into this 1v1, he's kind of waiting down the clock. He's not planting the bomb straight away. You know, Merlin's being very patient, trying to figure out if the guy's going to run back down the ramp. Just putting those seeds of doubt. Skep puts that seeds of doubt into Merlin's mind. It makes him rotate B, giving him the space to run up and plant A. What an angle and what a headshot and what a round from Skep. As we see now, Swansea have taken full B control off Arrow, off the back of one Deagle. He's got all of B. Scribbs picks up Hanno 2. It looks like Swansea have had enough of this, and they just want to close out the round. Bornes now onto Andy, Skep, and JShaf doing what they can, equalising, punishing the aggression, and it's now onto this 3v3. It's so hard to call, Tim. It's just back and forth constantly between the two sides.
Yeah, the fights are like very scrappy at the moment, just fighting all across the map, picking up the pieces wherever they can. Bomb has been dropped, I think that's just outside middle. And 2-on-2 again, 40 seconds left. Things are, yeah, as you say, hard to call. Don't really know what's going to happen, who's going to win. Very close affair.
Yeah, and it's just these pace changes, it's just these pauses in the middle of the chaos where you kind of, it's so close to call where the team's going to end up, and it's resulting in this gamble stack on towards A, which looks to be maybe the right call, as JShaf with the bomb, with the Deagle, with no time, just punches in those numbers.
Ting finding Wacky, bringing it onto a 2-on-1. Corners. Very awkward position here. You have to deal with two players, and Team 4 play that perfectly together, peeking him simultaneously and winning that round. 9-14. Timeout has been called for Swansea.
Yeah, money.
Feel the grip over the game slowly loosening. They want to make sure they close it out now.
Yeah, right. It's so difficult to call. It's just constantly back and forths, trading. Both teams kind of trading, doing the damage, punishing the aggression on the opposite side of the map. I mean, what a good series it's been so far. And I think the pause is coming now, just to kind of, you know, gather 30 seconds from Swansea, discuss whether they want to buy into this or not. Money not looking great. I can imagine a save coming out of them, just the upgraded pistols. It looks like they're stacking more towards B, which could be dangerous for JShaf, I believe, who's lurking there.
Yeah, that's a lot of CT players that are going to be flanking them now, I believe. Good frag from Hanno.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks like the Ts and the CTs are almost swapped sides. As Fornes does pick up Skep in this 3v3, making it expensive, and it is actually very important, these frags Swansea are currently getting for themselves. If you look again, I know I keep saying it, but at the money on the T side, yes, they've got a bomb plant down. It looks like they're going to be living with 3 players alive. It's important they're winning these rounds, obviously, because it's 14, well, it'll be 14-10 now. But only 1,400 Hanno, 1,300 Skep, 900 JShaf. The economy's still not great for the T side. It's not, the bank has not been built up.
Yeah, I think you know, picking up these 2 AKs is going to be pretty huge for Swansea into this next round. You know, it's going to help them out a lot financially. Whereas Southampton, you know, have to reinvest into the ones that they lost. That should be all good here. Lots of utility on either side. Merlin playing with an AUG. It's the first time we're seeing this gun brought out in this matchup so far. He's playing middle. And he gets flashed off that corner. Does tanks get down to 76?
Yeah, I think speaking about the money situation, it's kind of like what I was mentioning earlier, and what Southampton have actually done very well this T side, and that's actually getting the bomb, you know, punching the numbers, putting it on a bomb site, because that will help out your team enormously. As we're kind of into these force buy wars, trades again in mid, back and forth, as Ting spots the gun barrel, will take out Arrow, misses his molly, but gathers info that nobody else is on this B bomb site, and he's got to be careful jumping down those stairs there.
Yeah, 5 points of health, definitely a scary prospect, those stairs.
But it's all falling apart.
Yeah, his teammates died before he could get there. He was too far away. That's a 1-on-3. And
that's a nightmare scenario for the T side. Swansea just ripping it away from them. It looks so good for this T side, and then it's all just falling apart. Swansea off the back of, you know, 2 saved rifles, their money not looking in a great spot. They've now just pushed themselves onto map point and series point as well, should I say. Money not looking great again. T side, 2 Deagles, 3 AKs. Hanno pushing up towards B. What can he find?
Tax Merlin down to 48. Yeah, we're returning some gunfire. Some awkward exchanges here and there, but all favouring Swansea. Ting does find Wacky Zip though in return. Will he find a second? Yes, he does. Bringing it back onto a 3-on-3. And Skep also finding the head of Arrow with a Desert Eagle.
Oh, just when it looks impossible for this team, they find a way back into the round. Those Desert Eagles are actually the only ones providing kills. Rifles not needed, as we're now into this awkward 3-on-2. HPs all over the place. 1 player from each team, you know, standing strong. Scribs and Merlin double stacked up, but the bomb is moving towards B. It's going to be a very, you know, important decision / retake from Swansea if they do decide to go for it. I would hedge my bets and say that they do not because of the money. But Vornes on 5.5k. You know, they might fancy themselves, might want to close out the map early, but I think with that kill on towards Merlin, it's a done deal. Scribs will be looking to save his kit, his armor, his AK that he's picked up.
Yeah, and all his utility and 5.7. He's got the full package there. He's missing 1 more grenade of his choice. Yeah, that's a, you know, a well salvaged round by Southampton. Some good Desert Eagle kills from Skep and Ting there. Out of the round that looked really, you know, troubling. They just suddenly pop heads, and here we go.
Yeah, Ting MVP in that round. 2 quick Desert Eagle headshots. Puts himself up to 17 kills this game. You know, Skep is top of the board for Southampton on 30 kills. Wacky Zip not far behind him on 29 for the Swansea team. And again, it's just so close. The more scrappy these rounds become, though, and, you know, on the provision that the T side keep winning, it's only going to make the economy and the round so much more laboured and difficult for this CT side. But they are taking the fights in early. This is what I like from Swansea, is that they don't give up. They keep fighting this ramp control early.
He's pushing up, though. Finding Vornes. It's a man advantage. I don't think we've seen that in a while for Team 4. Especially not a clean man advantage, where
that's right, yeah,
being exchanged instantaneously.
Yeah, for sure. And now Southampton are doing a Swansea and are just sitting now, and they're just waiting, forcing Util out of Wacky. He's got no idea where the players are because Vornes has gone down. It's just kind of this back and forth tug of war affair between the 2 teams, gaining ground a little bit and then giving it back to the other team. It's just a really good game of Counter-Strike.
Looks as though as Team 4 want to head towards B. Throwing utility, trying to force any engagements, and Skep finds 1, gets traded. Scripps finds 3.
Oh, wow. We can't see that because Auto Director just didn't pick it up, but what an important spray down for Scribs. He's still alive, he's on 15 points of health. And it's now thrown the round again, all the way back in towards Swansea's favour with positioning and bomb. Scribs, the hero of the round, picks up a 4th. Will he find the ace? No, denied by J-Shaft. It's 1v1. But he doesn't expect Wacky Zip, and that is the game. Ladies and gentlemen, what a game that is. And the series 2-0 Swansea, they will be advancing into the semi-finals, which will take place next week.
That's well played. GG's. Well done, Swansea. That's a good result for them. They'll be pleased with that, I think. And I don't think Team 4 should be too disappointed with that, especially because they don't really play Vertigo too much. And they still put up a fight, did really well. Some good frags coming in individually from the players. I think Skep finished with 31 frags, which was most in the game. So good job there. Good performance.
Yeah, good showing out the Southampton boys, to be honest. We spoke about it before. Unfavoured team coming into this. Swansea, last year's winners, proving why as well. Really, really well disciplined on both maps from them as well. And yeah, in terms of other stuff coming up, obviously tomorrow we have League of Legends coming up for us at 2 p.m. Advancing into the bracket as well, I've just received confirmation of results from the other games in the Counter-Strike. It looks like Bath beat Surrey, the game we casted last week. They're moving on and they'll be playing at 2.5 Men, who they beat Portsmouth Paladins 2-0, and Oxford Brookes Viper took out Kindred 2-0. So our semi-finals for you next week for the Counter-Strike are Oxford Brookes Vipers versus Swansea and 2.5 Men versus Bath. Some really spicy matchups there. Please do check us out next week. In terms of things coming up, as I just mentioned, League of Legends tomorrow at 2 p.m. We've got all the quarterfinals there. We kind of got CSGO for you on the Saturday and then League on the Sunday. So be sure to check that out. Tim, any last final words from you?
Just thank you for everyone tuning in. Make sure to stay safe, and yeah, we hope to see you tomorrow for the League of Legends event, maybe. And if not, then we'll catch you next week for, I think, the semi-finals, right?
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. That's been us and the Counter-Strike casted today. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow for the League of Legends. Cheers, guys.
He gets three.
Hazard takes three.
The nade stealing the kill.
Hazard looking for the fifth. It's very low. They smoke him out, one behind.
So John and Hazard.
I think they're going to start rotating soon as they spot 5 coming out.
Sorkus taking one down, Skeletal another, and Sorkus onto Tinkles. Sorkus is still alive with full
It's
HP,
another
taking
one.
3. That is 4
Is it
for
another
Sorkus.
ace? Oh!
And Sorkus goes down with Skeletal on 17 HP.
Incredibly close.
Very close. Sorkus with brilliant plays there. Wow, really lifting his team.
To 29 frags.
29 frags in 19 rounds. This is some top tier gameplay from Sorkus here.
Short here. They're going to flash with the smoke. They do.
They're on out.
And Jay's going to pick up 1. And it's just the AWP left.
Now picking up 2.
He gets a
Helmet
third.
with 3 kills. That is a great play.
Is he going to get the
4.
ace? He is going to get the
Helmet
ace.
with the ace. What a brilliant play.
Well, Sorkus is going to go up and grab it. I mean, if there's a man you want with the rifle, it's
Sorkus
your
with an
boy.
SG. This could be scary.
It's very scary
Very
stuff.
scary. There are 4 Ts left, and Sorkus
And
has
they-
their number.
And they have the B-apps control as well. They're very much...
Oh, and Sorkus with
Gets
a
him
beautiful
through the smoke.
That is disgusting.
Very much still. Still winnable for Surrey.